Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
The Boxing Voice, bringing you the most relevant news and latest rumors in the sport of boxing from around the world, while delivering diverse opinions and thought-provoking insights from a revolving cast of panelists. The most relevant guests in boxing, answering hard-hitting questions and touching on the topics that interest you the most. Correspondents from all over the globe, giving us the inside track on what's happening from fight town to fight town, and access to the inner workings of events allows you, the listener, a chance to get inside the fight. From continent to continent, coast to coast, we give you, the caller, a consistent outlet to voice your opinions on topics relevant to you by subscribing to iTunes, creating a tight-knit community by connecting the Sweet Science's most enthusiastic fans. Now, Nestor Gibbs.
All right. Welcome back to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice. And today is going to be your Floyd Mayweather versus Adrien Broner feud. Mayweather has seemed to cut the umbilical cord on little Adrien Broner, aka Mini Me. There seems to be trouble in paradise, where there was once upon a time these two guys were really close. They no longer are. So definitely stay tuned so we can give you all the facts, all the details on the Mayweather-Broner feud and Mayweather cutting the umbilical cord, no longer playing stepdad to Adrien Broner. So I want to remind everyone that you can always head on over to ThaBoxingvoice.com to support me and everyone else on this team by obviously reading an article, sharing an article on your social media, whether that be Twitter, Facebook, or whatever else these young whippersnappers are doing these days, you know? I want to remind everyone that this is a listener-driven show, and if you want more spontaneous shows like this, well, then help us out with a little donation to keep the lights on. Buy me and Mario a coffee or some flapjacks. You know, I need some protein whey. Can I make an Amazon wish list? Would you guys buy me stuff off my wish list? I don't know. If not, at least buy a TBV shirt. It's most important. I want to see that at all these fights. I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be in Quillen Jacobs. I'm not making it to Canelo Cotto as it looks. But I definitely, look, we're doing spontaneous shows, so drop us a 5-star review because guess what? This is more content for you. That being said, I'm going to kick it over to Mario for all the facts and particulars, and we're going to give you all the details on this little drama story. But first, all the way from Corpus Christi, it's Mario Munguia.
It's me, Mario.
Shameless plug. Tomorrow is Mario's Fantasy Throwdown Minute for the big Canelo Cotto contest for throwdownfantasy.com. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. So yeah, as Ness alluded to, spontaneous show. We're focused on the Mayweather-Broner riff relationship. You know, no longer bros, whatever you want to call it. It seems like they are officially on the outs. Before we get into some of the quotes that we wanted to go over, just a quick little timeline. You know, obviously Mayweather-Broner, you know, they came up, little bro, big bro. A lot of people compared Adrien Broner to Floyd. Broner loses to Maidana. You know, kind of tingle in the rift. You could kind of see some things starting to pan out. I think the biggest splash happened when Broner lost to Porter, and Mayweather took that moment to crown Earl Spence in front of many members of the media, which everybody ran with, and fans, you know, took as basically him passing the torch to another fighter that wasn't Broner. Then in the lead up to Broner's last fight, Mayweather was very, very adamant about the fact that he believes Ashley Theophane could beat Adrien Broner. Ashley Theophane being a TMT fighter, a guy who isn't really known for much. You know, he's had some decent little fights here and there, but certainly not a guy that we would have thought would have been on Broner's radar for any particular reason. This didn't seem to sit well with Broner, who in the post-fight for after winning his last fight at 140 pounds for the title. He kind of took a mini shot at Mayweather, talking about how he could beat Ashley Theophane and, to sign him up, as well as some other stupid remarks. So that brings us to the present. Broner also, actually, I should mention, did give an interview on, what was it, Big Boy Radio, right, Ness? I think it was. And our own Matt Luzzi covered that story for us. And he talked all about Broner, and, he went out of his way to say that him and Mayweather are good. They have a brother relationship, brothers fight. We're familiar with the brother term with Mayweather and 50 Cent, and the way that they threw around brother. It's like, if you're my brother, we're going to fight, we're going to argue, but it's always going to be love. But Broner did say some things in there that kind of led us to believe that, he wasn't too thrilled with their relationship. He did even kind of leave an open innuendo for a possible fight. So Fight Hype caught up with Floyd Mayweather, Ben Thompson of FightHype.com, and he interviewed Floyd. And Floyd had these things to say, and I quote, "Some of these fighters, we spoil them too much. I'm be honest, me and Al Heyman together, we spoil these fighters too much. A lot of them are appreciative, but a lot of them are not appreciative. You got fighters that I stood behind like Adrien Broner. When he lost to Maidana, I was the first one to post a picture of me and him, and I told him, you know what? I'm behind you. Hold your head up high, stay focused, and you'll be able to bounce back. But then you have the same guy that I'm defending and standing behind and going to war for is the same guy that says, you know what? I love my big brother Floyd Mayweather, but F the money team. He's the same guy that you can go, if I'm not mistaken, to my TMT website and see that he had a money team shirt on and was in Vegas, and he had a money team sweatsuit. So I never really understood that." I'll read a few more real quick, and then we'll talk about it and get into a few more. I really don't know what caused Broner to go off. I really, really don't know. But once again, I don't discredit no one for what they have done. When Adrien Broner won his first world title, I don't know who he fought. I don't even know who the guy was, but I was happy for him. And I always wanted to give Adrien Broner positive advice. When everyone had something negative to say about him, you know what I do? I say this kid comes from a rough and tough background and just wanted to stay behind him and support him and get him the help to get to the next level. But you saying fuck the money team? Well, what he don't know, the money team is making 8 figures a year. I mean, I'm really thankful and I'm really blessed to be where I'm at. So, I'll read another one real quick. Mayweather. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, before we get into any of the other ones, we'll stop right there and talk about, what this kind of means. Ness, any thoughts just right off the bat?
Well, I mean, a lot of things went through my head. I was kind of happy to see Floyd kind of finally, give this guy a little bit of what he deserves, just a little reality check. He's starting not to be as good as we thought. He needs to stay at 140, and it's a reality check. Now, I just wonder though, because the way that the interview was cut off, it has me wondering that a part 2 is going to come out, and was it all a joke to see how quick the media would take these words that Mayweather said and write bad stories about Broner? I don't know, because at the end of the day, I mean, are they not still going to do Ashley Theophane versus Broner? Unless, now this is just me wishful thinking. Not that it's a good thing, right? Not that it's a good thing, but could you imagine that this is somehow the beginning of good guy versus bad guy, and Floyd comes back, they fight on PBC, and it's Broner versus Floyd, and it's like, oh, everybody compares this guy to me, he's nothing like me, and I'm going to show you guys when I whoop his butt. And it's like, but that would be a cash out. So like, I don't understand this. I mean, maybe Floyd was genuinely upset, and with good right, I guess, because that's like saying, oh, I fuck with Ness, but fuck the boxing voice, because that's not how it is. You got to fuck with the boxing voice or you don't fuck with Ness. So, I kind of feel Floyd. I understand how that goes. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I got my conspiracy theory. Could this lead into something, that's like a Mayweather-Broner fight? I'd pay for it, but you know, maybe Broner would have less of a shot than Berto did.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. And real quick, I do want to mention that even though those quotes did come from Fight Hype, please go to theboxingvoice.com and read Julio Garcia's story on the quotes, and he gives his own take on everything. And so, listen, I hear these quotes, and I think they're serious. You know, Floyd, I know some people that were young when they started a business, and these people always had problems, you know, with their employees early on. And it was like, I'm going to fire this guy, I'm going to fire that guy. And at what point do you look back and you say, you know what, maybe I'm the issue. I fired 5 guys in the last 2 months. You know, what am I doing wrong? With Floyd, there will never be that. He's reached such a boss-like level that any sort of close relation, like, I just don't think you can be rich, famous, and happy. You know what I mean? Like, with truly happy with real friends behind you. It just, I can't see it happening anymore. Like, you just see all these things that go on. Like, I mean, I have friends that I've had since, you know, we were in elementary. We're cool. Nothing will ever get in the way of that. But these guys, you know, I don't know. I think that ego is a big part of it. You know, I come from an urban area, even though I stayed out away from a lot of that stuff. But I know the way it is. You know, I know the way that pride gets in the way, and you got to be the toughest guy. If you're not the toughest, then you're the weakest. If you're not eating people, then you're going to get ate. And that's the biggest thing right here that I see is Broner always allowed himself to be a punk. He always allowed himself to look like such a girl, you know, and that's not him. I know it's not him. He's so aggressive, and he's so willing to be, he's so willing to be in your face, and he's not, I don't think he's scared of anyone. I really don't. I think that he never wanted to bite the hand that fed him. And now it's kind of like, well, what are you really doing for my career, Floyd? You know, well, what is TMT? You know, a tracksuit, a couple hats, some shirts with the Mexican logo. Like, what is TMT at the end of the day? It's
wait a
clothing
minute.
line. I mean, that's all it really boils down to. What are they doing for Broner? He needs to chase that Floyd fight. He needs to.
Clothing line. Oh, don't let Floyd
It's a
hear you
clothing
say
line.
that. Listen, you heard Floyd. He said, if you say fuck TMT, you saying fuck Al Heyman, because Al Heyman part of TMT.
I wouldn't go as far as say that. Floyd can say whatever he wants.
Did you listen to the video? Because I watched the video. I mean,
well, I read Julio's story.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I read Julio's story.
There's more to the, you know, to the audio.
Well, it's not that. Floyd can say whatever he wants, but Al is a smart man. Al is PBC, and even then, he's not PBC. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny. He's never going to associate himself with any of those kinds of things. But Adrien Broner, at the end of the day, was never in that running. Listen, when Maidana beat Broner, Maidana earned Floyd. What would Broner have earned? What would he have gotten?
It would be nothing. It would be a story that they can sell and a safe fight for Floyd again. I mean, isn't that the? I mean, listen. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you that it's right. I'm telling you what I think can come. You know, like,
and you don't like it though. You don't like it.
I mean, I only like it because I know Floyd will give him a proper ass whooping, and no one's giving him a proper ass whooping. Not even Maidana. You know, he had spots in Maidana. He looked tough. To me, you know, he still gets credit for me for losing that Maidana fight because of the way that he fought in that 12th round. He fought hard. And Maidana, I was there live. Maidana gave him credit, you know, because Rod the other day, he's like, oh, you haven't been in Texas. I was there live. Maidana gave him credit that he could hit hard, but you know, Floyd is very accurate, you know, and it would be a pace that they both like. It would be funny, though. It would be good to see Broner pushing Floyd if they're both doing the same, you know, wide stance, kind of shoulder roll, you know, picking shots. Funny. You know, maybe Broner doesn't get tired. And the fact that he throws more punches than Floyd, it could be a little fun. But I still think, again, that it's no different than Andre Berto, and probably,
you're probably right.
And probably, you know, either on the same level or a step underneath the Andre Berto fight, because Berto had at least the element of power, where Broner, we've already decided that his power didn't carry up. It's decent, but it didn't carry up. It's not enough to knock out Mayweather. I mean, Mosley didn't knock out Mayweather, and he hit him clean.
Well, I'll tell you, though, there are aspects of Broner's game that excite me when it comes to this fight. The thing is that Berto was an old, I don't know how old Berto is, and I should have known because I knew I was going to say this, damn it. Berto, however old he is, he's older than that in boxing years. He's got mileage on him. Broner doesn't have as much mileage on him. Broner's still in his prime. There are things about this fight that excite me. Listen, I've given up on Floyd going and fighting Golovkin. I don't care about a Manny rematch. You know, the only fight that truly interests me in his career in terms of a competitive fight is Amir Khan. And if he's going to continue to duck Amir Khan, then I think that I'm just kidding about duck. You know, I understand he doesn't need Amir Khan. If he's not going to fight Amir Khan, then I don't care who he fights because it's not going to be competitive or as competitive as that fight. So give me Broner. Why not? You know, if you're going to make me pay for a fight, I should pay for something that I think is going to be entertaining all the way through. You know, you got the elements of every combustible fight. I mean, let me ask you a question. If I were like telling you that I came back from the future and I saw the Broner Mayweather fight and I told you, dude, in the third round, the ring gets filled and there's this huge rumble and you know, both corners clear the benches, like, you would believe me, right? You'd be like, oh, yeah, I could see that happening. You know what I mean? There's so many elements that could just make this combustible. These guys are going to try to one-up each other, you know, unless Broner takes that bitch route and bows out, but I don't think he will. I mean, just imagine all the shit we've ever heard from Broner in a press conference and everything we've heard from Floyd and them to spit it at each other. That's pretty good, man. I'm a fan of battle rap, and you don't got to be clever as long as you're being,
you know,
spiteful.
What I like is that Mayweather already has taken the gloves off. You know, the way that he spoke about his career and the way that he's won those titles, you know, he's already being kind of a mean guy. So if there was a press conference, yeah, it might be interesting, because Broner, it's too late for him to say big bruh, and I love him, and, you know, it's too late. It's too late. Oh, my God, my video that I did with Broner where it says he doesn't want to be the first one to give Mayweather a loss would probably finally, you know, cross into the millions and shit. Who knows? But, yeah, I mean, do you believe it, though? I haven't asked you that because I've at least expressed my doubts that this is even real. These guys sit around in rooms and hatch plans out because just like the WWF and the WCW, these guys need a theme. They need a reason to make us want. I mean, look at boxing right now. Things are you know, even though they're on a high, people are not interested. The numbers aren't the same as they were when everyone was excited about Mayweather-Pacquiao. You know, for a couple of months, we've been hearing people say that, you know, Mayweather-Pacquiao did more harm than good. And I'm starting to believe it now. You know, statistically speaking, you know, watching analytics daily, it's like, yeah, you know, Mayweather-Pacquiao is something different than boxing and then every other name.
It affected everyone. It affected everyone. Look at Golovkin. Golovkin would have done much more. I think his numbers would have been way better. But you know, Steven Caldron made the point a while back.
Somehow you guys find a way to bring this guy up.
Listen, I'm just
I mean, the dude did 97,000 pay-per-views, and you bring him up.
I'm done. Steven Caldron made a really interesting point the other day, and he had talked about the fact that and one of our other writers, Adam Sperber, had mentioned this too, is that, you know, people were just tired of pay-per-view. And I think that all dates back to Floyd Pacquiao. It was a letdown. And I agree with you, what you said about him taking the gloves off. What did he say in the interview, Ness? He said, oh, I don't even know who he beat.
Yeah, he said, I don't even know who he beat.
Like, he was a scrub. And listen, and I found the quotes. So I'm going to read these real quick from, again, these are the Fight Hype quotes. And I'm taking these from Julio Garcia's story. On the flip side, and this is Floyd, I'm quoting Floyd. On the flip side, I mean, he just lost to Shawn Porter. Then you fight for a world title right after for a vacant title.
I mean, what has
hold on. For a vacant world title. You and your opponent coming off losses, instead of saying fuck the money team, he needs to be thanking the money team, because at the end of the day, Al Heyman is part of the money team. He needs to be thanking the money team, everything under the same umbrella when it's all said and done. If you're saying fuck Al Heyman, you say fuck Floyd Mayweather. If you say fuck Floyd Mayweather, you're saying fuck Al Heyman. I mean, me as a fighter, if I lost a fight, there's no way in hell that my next fight would be fighting for a title against another guy that's coming off of a loss. I wouldn't even be proud or consider myself a champion. Wow, that's harsh. That is harsh.
Very harsh. Very harsh. So I'm being told via the bat phone that there is a video. Something about Broner. I have no clue. Let's see if we take a caller or two and maybe someone knows. I don't have the producer with us tonight, so I believe 908 is going to be my guy. I mean, let me see.
Yeah, what's good, fellas?
What's up?
What up, I mean?
Broner, I seen footage. It was one, he was coming out of casino, or coming out, whatever, it was some sort of event. Whatever, I think it was the BET Awards or some shit. And he's like, yeah, fuck the money team. Don't ask me shit about no money team. And then, there's also the Big Boy interview that Mario was talking about. So and matter of fact, he on Vlad TV, another joint, talking about the same shit. You know what I mean? So
Recently?
I mean, he's just really putting it out there. And I mean, I don't know if it's they trying to like hype up some shit. Because remember, Floyd is temperamental. He had problems with 50. You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys, and I don't necessarily think. People say, even him and 50, they say, oh, yeah, these guys are, I don't know how they were. I mean, being entertained. But they don't have each other. So, probably within boxing, I'm sure Broner and Floyd is pretty cool. They put, 3, 4, 5 years, you work with somebody, y'all cool, but I mean, y'all not really family or nothing like that. So it's just business at the end of the day. So I would like to see the fight as well, and I just crept up on a spontaneous show. So I'm glad y'all fellas is doing it. So good looking, man.
All right, I mean, hey man, if you haven't heard already, check out Mixler. It's a platform that we've been on. Just take a look at it, see how you like it, because we've been testing, probably using that platform all over again. It's higher audio quality and things like that. So so there is a response video that was put out today by Adrien Broner, Mario. So that may be something that we touch on tomorrow's show and give you guys the details of that. Today was a spontaneous one. I mean, I wanted to do this a few days ago, probably one or two, not too many, but the point is, if it must be real,
let me address that too, by the way, because you did ask me a question right before I read the quotes, whether I think it's real or not. And I'm going to tell you that yes, it's real. And I'm going to tell you why it's real, because it's either real because these guys are not getting along, or it's real because these guys it's a publicity stunt to get to a certain point. And that makes it real. Maybe the animosity isn't as real as, we might think it is. But if they're headed towards a fight, this makes it absolutely real, because there's nothing realer than a fight. You can fake it for the cameras, and, Tyson can spew off these crazy things, both Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury, to sell a fight. Angel Garcia can say whatever he wants. All that's well and good. And people say, oh, well, they're selling a fight, or that's not authentic. But what's authentic is the fight. Two men go into the ring and they try to hurt each other. There's nothing more real than that. I don't care what they said before or after. It is settled at that point. And the biggest men of them all shake hands afterwards. And so it doesn't matter if this is a publicity stunt, because even if it is, I think it's headed for some reason, or it's headed somewhere. The worst thing that could happen is these guys are just talk shit to each other on World Star and through Fight Hype for the next 2-3 years without ever doing anything, without lacing up the gloves. Maybe we get a shot of Broner spilling a drink on Floyd and Drake running over and kicking Nelly in the head for some reason. Like that's girl stuff to me. Like that's not where I'm from. And I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, I'm the toughest dude or the baddest man on the planet. Not at all. But I'll tell you right now, like that's girl stuff. If you're a prize fighter, why wouldn't you fight for a prize? Floyd, you got nobody in your left to fight. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't see why you wouldn't want to fight Broner. And Broner?
Yeah, but Mario, let me ask you. I mean, what if it's just Floyd Mayweather using his power to focus attention on Adrien Broner to then shift in Ashley Theopan, because Ashley Theopan is training. Sean Zattel visited him. He spoke to him. He's training. He as far as he's concerned, he's just waiting for his handlers, Floyd and whoever his manager is, to tell him the fight is on. So he's training.
Yeah, and listen, I think that at the end of the day, it would be a bad move because something's going to happen where it turns real. He can shift in Ashley Theopan, and this could all be publicity to build up that fight. And Matt Luzzi had written a really great story a few weeks ago, and it's really prevalent today. And this was after the Big Boy interview that Broner gave. And Luzzi wrote the title was something like TMT versus AB. The road to Mayweather-Broner, something like that, or Theopan is the road to Mayweather-Broner. And this is kind of what it seems like now is what it's panning out to be. It doesn't matter if Broner and Mayweather actually step in the ring, because this is becoming TMT versus AB. And I don't know if you could ever cross those. Floyd at 50, they squashed it. They were cool. I think 50 was just a little thirsty. When the Pacquiao fight came around, wanted to be in the limelight. But still, they squashed it. They were cool, but they're not like they were at all. And so AB doesn't need Floyd. That's the truth. That's what everybody needs to understand, is that I think Floyd's been worse for AB's career than anything else. He's tried to live up to this monumental career, this epic career that he had no chance of achieving, that no one does. It's unfair. It's like, trying to become Michael Jordan. You can become a great pro. It doesn't make you Michael Jordan. And that's what AB was trying to do. But then he was trying to do it in the limelight as well. He was trying to do it with his persona. Every single facet of his being, every fiber of his being, he was trying to emulate Floyd. And that put him in a very, very dark place with a lot of people. He alienated so many members of the media, so many of his own fans. People begin to have this perception of him, and whether it's a misconception or not, it doesn't matter. That is the perception that will hold, as it will for Floyd Mayweather, for eternity. As long as they are remembered, they will be remembered the way they are. And so I think that if he were to shift away from Floyd at this point, it could only help his boxing career. Now he wants to continue rapping. Sure, throw Floyd in a video, resurrect Farnsworth Bentley, do whatever the hell you want to do. Just don't expect me to pay attention.
No, I mean, listen, I agree. I'll tell you one thing, obviously I'm interested to see, how far Floyd takes it. I just don't want him to try to play coach or promoter, and this is all hype for Ashley Theopan. And I think, that's probably it. I mean, maybe they could still use that though, build it up to a Floyd fight if that's the case. I guess it just depends on how ugly he's going to continue to get, because again, that interview sounds like there's a lot more to it. We're going to get to some calls and we're going to end this quick because this was just a spontaneous one. Something to talk about. This is interesting to me and obviously to Mario. I'm still a guy that's very high on Broner and think that he does this. He brings eyes to the sport. I'm high on him because he brings attention to the sport. Look, I'm interested.
Yeah. Listen, I work at a back end on the website all the time. Okay, I can tell you that whatever you want to say about Broner, he's popular. That guy's popular. I promise you. He brings traffic like no one would know. He's searched throughout Google. I mean, I'll tell you what, there are some days where his name is more popular than Manny Pacquiao by far. And it's on that certain day, and obviously like something would have trending and all that bullshit happens or whatever, but you know, the guy is one of the most popular fighters in the sport. There's no denying that. And so Ness's two favorite things, Adrien Broner and conspiracy theories. So, you know, he had to do the show.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Broner and Mayweather, that's enough for me to want to do it point blank. We're gonna
Well,
get
if
to
Jay-Z would have been in the conversation somehow, Ness would have wanted to do a 3-hour show.
let me tell you, that article that we wrote a bunch of months ago on Broner refusing the money from Jay-Z, it gets hits every single day. I mean, those two names are popular, especially together. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't get that. Okay, 817, let's go to you really quick. What's going on, brother?
This is Big John from Texas.
What's going on?
Yeah, Mario, shame on you for bringing up Triple G. This isn't about him. Don't try to blame those numbers on Floyd. But as far as this situation goes with Broner, I think Floyd, when I look at the complete picture, I think this is a guy who's really in retirement mode. Not just because he went at Broner, but he went at everybody. I think this is a guy who's not keeping up any type of facade right now. Facade right now. Like, I'm retired. Like, I'm gonna say what I feel, and that's what he did. I think also with Floyd, this isn't surprising at all. If you just look at his life, period, all it takes is one little ounce of what he feels of disrespect, and he can cut you off. You know, if he can cut off his own father, and he's had those issues since he was a child, you know, he cut off Leonard Ellerby or, you know, threatened to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something where I think we all know he has an ego, and I think that Broner touched the nerve, and when he finally got a chance to speak about it, he addressed it, just like he addressed everybody else. I just hope that what I take from this is, I hope that Adrien Broner can look at this as a reality check, like you guys said, as something, you know, when you get into an argument with someone that's close to you, someone else might have told you that you don't care about, but when you get in an argument with one of your closest friends or family member or something, and they say something, even if it's out of anger, they say something that's so real, it hits home harder. You know, I hope that he takes this to heart and it makes him look at his career, you know, like, because at the end of the day, what Floyd said was the truth. And if Floyd thinks it, everybody else thinks it. So I hope he just takes it as a reality check. And I hope this is something that will help him, you know, become the fighter that we thought he could be.
Hopefully, man. You sound like you're putting a little prayer for him. I'm gonna light a candle too. Listen, Mario. You know, going back to what we were talking about, here's a great point to show what the caller said and what I said. Right? The caller said, if Floyd says it, we believe it. And you and I said, Broner and Floyd, those are two good names to make a show on because, you know, they garner attention. You know what doesn't garner attention? Broner, Mayweather telling everybody that Triple G needs to fight Andre Ward. You see, we ain't make a show on that, but you heard those rumors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he said that too. Not rumors, because he actually said it. 727, you're up. Let's go. 727.
Yo, what's up? This is Randall from Tampa, man. How y'all doing?
Randall, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Of course we can hear you.
Hello, Hey, I'm doing all right, man. I was a little grumpy on Sunday, man. I had left that damn Bucks and Giants game, so I was a little cussing and little stuff. I was bitten, so but I'm in a little better mood today. Yeah, man. I remember Dwyer put out a video a couple years ago about Broner fighting Mayweather. How like he saw the picture on the wall. He had painted the picture. Back when they was taking pictures together. This was even before he fought Madonna. And Dwight had said something like, you know, Floyd lining himself up with this kid, and he could see the separation is it's clear as day that they were setting this up for a while ago. I think that what really happened was that Broner got derailed and he lost a couple of fights. And it kind of like pushed that chip off the way.
Randall.
because like you said, it takes.
Randall, I'm sorry, you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna ask you a series of questions before I let you go. First question is, do you have to use that app to call in because it sounds bad?
Nah, I don't have to use it, but I've been getting so much issues when I call my phone. But there's some dogs barking in the background.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the dogs. It's the internet. Listen,
I hear it pretty good.
Listen, it's not the dog. It's the internet connection. You're definitely cutting out, and maybe if you get under Wi-Fi, it'll be better. I'm gonna come back to you. 216, you're up. 216, you're up.
216.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up?
Julio from Cleveland.
What up?
First time caller.
Julio from Cleveland, man. I feel like I know you already, man. You sure you don't know our producer?
No.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Hey, I was just calling to say, love the show. Give a shout out, Mario, whoever's on the panel right now. I just started listening. I seen it on Twitter, so I know Ness is there. I think it's only YouTube, but about the Broner situation. Broner and Floyd, I think, would be a great fight. I'm not interested in a Theo Payne fight, but that's pretty much it for me.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in, man. We always appreciate some first-time callers, man. Appreciate it. 585, you're up.
All right, let's take this back to the house. Come on. How much you pay for this?
585.
Oh, hey, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, you said Broner and Mayweather finna fight?
Well, they beefing. Mayweather took a lot of verbal shots at him. He said that the guys that he won the title from were nobodies, and that if he would have done that, he wouldn't have considered himself a true champion. Listen, you got a lot of things going on back there, man. I'm glad I can make you happy to get you on the show, but now we got to let you go. 914, you're up.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, this is Prince from the New York City area. What's going on? My first time caller.
All right, Prince. Well, let's properly introduce you, my friend, and give me some enthusiasm. You from New York City, man, the East Coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited to be on the show, man. Phenomenal. I just wanted to address this Broner issue and Floyd. You know what I mean? He just rang off on YouTube. He sent out his little message to Floyd, like a 10-minute video. Sounded real emotional. So, you know what I mean? I definitely think this is a real thing. The little brother felt a little bit hurt. So he's trying to voice his opinion out there right now. So, like, at the end of the day, Floyd better at least handle his shit like a real man and just let little brother know that everything is cool so they can get this show moving, man, because we don't need these black folks just, like, throwing shit all around like that, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. We definitely get it, brother. I'm going to go to some other callers, man. Thanks for calling in. 203, you're up.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
First time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm not going to speculate on the fight, but I just got a question for you and Mario. Do you think that Broner, Al Heyman, and Mayweather sat down and had to talk about this? Like, yo, can you lay down and take this fight for free? You know what I'm saying? For Mayweather, so he can get the 50th fight. Will Broner, take the money? You know what I mean? Like maybe $2 or $3 million.
I mean, look.
That's all I got.
All right, thanks for calling in. Another Connecticut caller, man. That's awesome. Thank you again. Listen, Mario. So the question was, do we feel that they sat Broner down and said, "Hey, look, you're gonna get some publicity off of this. Just lay down. Let me beat you up and get to the 50th. I don't know. That's too much speculation. Right now, it's just verbal jabs. I'm not going to start saying they fighting just yet, because I feel like they will probably get to a Theo Bain fight before they get to a Broner Floyd fight. What is interesting, though, for all you Canelo Cotto waiting on, Golovkin, I'll just say this. Canelo Cotto, if this first fight is as good as it feels like it's going to be, they can do the second one in May. And that would be more than enough time. And they can even get that date back, Canelo can anyway, if he wins, because if he's coming off a loss to Cinco de Mayo, that probably won't work. But yeah, we got one more caller to go to. But Mario, what did you think about the caller's question?
I'll put it to you this way. Hell no. There's no way that they would do that for two reasons. One, if they are going to fight, it's not needed. Broner, I think, will do what Floyd wants him to do, and he doesn't need to explain to him that he's going to win because he's going to win. On the other side of things, I want to make it very clear, I've been talking about the prospects of them fighting and press conferences and stuff like that. I don't think they're fighting. I really don't. I said two things. One, this is either very real and they're upset at each other, or this is heading towards a showdown between the two, which makes it authentic anyway. But I think that they're in their feelings. That's all it is. That's all this is. And so, no, I don't think they sat him down because they don't need to sit him down.
Yeah, and I'm not going to make that call yet until I see Broner's response video that he put out today. 813, you're up. Who's this?
Yo, this is Randall from Tampa.
Tampa, Randall, what's going on? Talk to me.
Y'all hear me now good?
Yeah, because you on an actual phone.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. Every time I would call in on my phone, I would get dropped. I would get so pissed off that's why I started using that app.
Randall, man, listen, Randall, at this point, you've called in so much, you need to start calling in on the bat phone, man. Call in Skype, man. Well, Skype is better. Sounds better and everything. Skype is always the best way.
Okay, well, you said I had to look you up by your name or something like that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, what I was saying before I got disconnected was like a few years ago, Dwyer made a video online was saying that how like he saw the blueprint in the making. And I think that really Broner moving up to 147 so fast was for him to get that Mayweather fight. What happened was he lost to Madonna, and that kind of changed the whole ship of what was going to go down. Because you had the student-teacher relationship. They was going to fall out by something stupid, and then they was going to end up fighting and cash out big fight for everybody. But like I said, I think Madonna really messed up them plans, and that's probably why Madonna got that fight. And you know what I'm saying? So it's been in the works for a few years. I think that's what I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, Randall dropping bombs over here. You think it's been in the works? So you think that if he would have won that Madonna fight, they would have fought at some point?
They probably would. Because think about it, you got to put yourself back in that time frame. You remember. He didn't have a clear opponent to fight going after he fought Canelo. He didn't have a clear opponent to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Keith Thurman was there, but he wasn't really headlining yet. Shawn Porter he hadn't fought Devin Alexander yet. Kell Brook, didn't fight Shawn Porter. Amir Khan.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So it wasn't really that person to fight except for Manny Pacquiao. I mean, that's obviously Manny Pacquiao. So if you think about it, he couldn't cross the street to fight anybody else on Bob's side or HBO side if he's not going to fight Pacquiao. So you got to think it was a different landscape just a couple years ago. And that's really why I think Broner rushed through those weight classes. He got that belt from Paulie. He was going to fight Madonna, and he was probably going to end up fighting Floyd in 2014. I really think it. I don't know if it would have been May, or if it would have been September, but it probably would have been May. He probably would have fought Broner in May.
Well, all right, Randall. Let me get back here. That is very interesting. I
point.
love
I think so.
conspiracy theories. I just don't know. I don't see the point of them trying to get Broner at a level back then to fight Floyd. Had Broner beaten
Really?
had Broner beaten Maidana back then soundly, where would Broner be at today, bro? We don't know. And why would they risk him versus Floyd? I mean, if they're not giving us Porter Thurman yet, we not getting, like, come on. I just don't know.
I think for the same reason they risked Canelo against Floyd. It's that trade-off.
They didn't risk
I'm an
Canelo.
old school. Listen, I'm an old school wrestling guy, and I always believe in the passing of the torch. And when you fight somebody like a Floyd or a Pacquiao, you take something with you, even in a loss. You take like an essence with you, and it makes you a bit. Look at Victor Ortiz. He should not be a movie star. He should not be known as a boxer, but he is because he fought Floyd. Maidana fought Floyd twice, and he went and he let himself go. He's probably baking in the sun right now, drinking some Mai Tais. That's the life. Look at Claudio, fought Pacquiao, disappeared. All these guys, they cash in their ticket, they're good to go. Why wouldn't they want Broner to get some of that mystique? Because then moving forward, that makes a Shawn Porter Broner fight bigger. It makes a Danny Garcia Broner fight bigger. Broner becomes kind of the fill in the blank A side.
No, I mean, I guess. I just don't know back then. I mean, I'm telling you, him beating Maidana. They were gonna do Maidana-Broner pay-per-view. Remember, they were thinking of that.
Well, actually, it was supposed to be Broner Robert Guerrero, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're definitely mistaken. You're definitely mistaken.
I'm not.
No, I mean, Broner was saying send the contract and all that. We could do it on pay-per-view, but there was never any mention. Maidana was the only one that got the real mention of a possible pay-per-view on Showtime with Broner. Listen, it is what it is. I'm happy with Broner. He fought 3 times this year. It is what it is. People could say he didn't earn that title. Floyd could say that too. But guess what? If I was in Broner's shoes, that title, I earned it. That title would be on my mantle. The same way that Mayweather took all those pictures with his title, Broner going to do the same with his. I don't think that, obviously there's always going to be intangibles and things and or asterisks to certain fights, but Floyd has those too, so he's kind of being I don't want to take it that far, but he's almost like being the pot calling the kettle black.
No, you're right. And listen, I am too. I won't go as far as to say I'm a Broner guy, but he fought 3 times. He whether he deserved the title shot or not, that was a very, very tough fighter that he fought. Coming into it, I really didn't think that it was a blowout type of fight. And that's the thing. Listen, I know Ken and Shawn, great people. Ken, calls into the show, good guys. But, listen, they got that win, and they might be shelved the rest of the year. They are going to be shelved, it looks like. And I know that's beyond their control. They would have fought 5 times if it was up to them. But that being said, Broner is at least positioned himself. Say what you want about him, but I really think that the whole rededicated type of story that he's trying to spin with himself and AB stands for about business. I love all that. I'm glad. He reminds me of the junior lightweight that was coming up early. The guy that Cincinnati guys were telling me about and Ohio guys were telling me about, and here's a video of a Mario, watch this, and footage on people's phones. And I remember before he got to HBO, I was so excited about this guy. He reminded me of an offensive-minded Floyd Mayweather. All the flaws with his defense, but if Floyd were to be aggressive at times, he would look the way that Broner looks when Broner's being aggressive. And that excited me, and it still does. I don't think Broner's career is over. I just think that we've seen his ceiling, and it is much lower than we initially thought. But that doesn't take anything away from him, and he is one of the biggest fighters in the world. don't knock that. You can't disagree.
No, I definitely don't. And, you're right. If he continues on this path, he does look like a change fighter. He did make that catch weight with Shawn Porter. We can't act like that's easy. We knew he was an overweight guy, and he made that. And then he came in and he made that Khabib Alavakurdiev fight weight even lower. So, look, I love this sport, and again, I use Gabriel Rosado as the barometer. If we're willing to give Gabe second chances, why we're not willing to give Broner the same chances or opportunities? I mean, don't get me wrong, not opportunities.
It's a little different.
Yeah, not opportunities because he gets way better opportunities than the average guy, and maybe that's why we have a little, we feel a certain type of way.
Humble. And Rosado's always been humble. Guys like that, he's fought hard. He earned it. With Broner, he's been handed some things, and that rubs people the wrong way. I've never seen Gabriel Rosado burn or flush $100 bills down the toilet. I've never seen Gabriel Rosado act a fool on World Star. I've never seen those things from him. So, it's different. But I agree. Everybody deserves their second or even third chance in this sport. If you're willing to go out there and fight, I'm willing to watch you. And I'm willing to watch Broner some more.
Well, so far, we're having a magnificent test here. We may find a way to get this done, and I got an awesome idea that you and I need to talk about off air. Where it's probably
give it a round of applause. Give the Mixler a round of applause.
Yeah,
there.
Mixler's doing well. We're also on Blog Talk though.
No, but both platforms,
Yeah. But we're gonna figure it. We're gonna figure it out. Where we probably just deal with the live show probably would just be like on Mixler, but you could still call in on Blog Talk. Is probably what I'm gonna do so that people could still we still need our callers and things like that. And yeah, man, it sounds pretty good from what I'm hearing in the chat over there. We got a few guys. Killer Sean definitely says he hopes we stay on Mixler. He's an old Mixler guy, and it looks like it's doing pretty well. So this was a short show, and it was just to touch a little bit on this Mayweather and Adrien Broner. I definitely wanted to talk about it with Mario and obviously put it out there to you, all our many listeners, because we wonder, is this real? Could it be? There's so many different doors that this little thing can open up. It's like we said, a possible Mayweather-Broner fight, maybe. Maybe it's just a build up to the Ashley Theo-Pain. Who knows what it can lead to, but I'm excited. I am your host, NesGTO. Find me on Twitter at NesGTO. And my co-host here, Mario Munguia.
At Mario Munguia on Twitter. And I do correspond on Facebook too. Please email the Boxing Voice at yahoo.com. That's THE. If you were interested in being a correspondent for us, we're still looking for correspondents. We have not closed that window. So
absolutely, we definitely are. So email us at ThaBoxingvoice. You can check us out on Twitter as well, and now back possibly on Mixler for good.
Love it.
But keeping the phone lines open on Blog Talk, obviously, and a little bit of everything over there. Probably we just do all three platforms. Who knows?
Why not?
But we hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, drop us a 5-star review. And if you're feeling even more lucky or generous, drop us a donation. All right, guys. See you guys mañana.
Tomorrow.
Peace. Later.